guys at YouTube. So over the past couple of months I've been watching loads of videos on solar and what people do, and I haven't seen anybody do what I want to do on a Skoolie. So I've dreamt something up, so I'm going to show you how I made my solar, and I'll go through the whole process with you and let's see where we come out. But for now, yeah, I got a roof rack design way before I even got my Skoolie, and I started building that. So I'm now going to modify my solar, or build solar to fit into the roof rack with a couple added extras. So let's see how we get on, and I'll take you through the steps and see what I do. So let's get on with it. So what I've had to do is make some brackets, obviously, for my solar. So at the moment, got a nice big chunk of angle. It's 50mm by 6mm. So that should be more than thick enough to hold the brackets that I want to build. So what I need to do is cut that off. So I've got 25mm there, weld it on there to make that longer. So let's do that. Right, so I got all my 50mm angle cut the piece off of it. Now what I plan to do is weld that piece on there, just to make it longer so I can have a better bracket. So I know there's going to be a lot of people talking about different things, and this is how I do things and what I find works best for me. So when I weld, I've got MIG, I've got TIG, I've got stick, arc, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be doing stick welding on this, and I know there's lots of people out there that say you got to do little C's as you travel down. I didn't go to any school for it, but what I find works the best for me is as I weld, do it this way. If I take my welding rod, everyone says you've got to make little C's as you go along. That doesn't work for me. I just find if I start, arc it, pull it away, and then make figure of eights as I go all the way around. Just keep doing figure of eights and moving down. It works out perfect. I'll show you in a minute. So let's get it done. Right, so those are all welded up now. I know someone's going to ask, so focus. That's kind of what it looks like. It's not the best weld, but it's strong enough and it'll do. So we need to grind all those flat so I can get a plate on there. So let's get that next. So we've got the brackets all welded up. What I'm going to be using is, obviously, make things easy, nice linear actuator to pick the solar up and down 40 something degrees so that I can get the best possible use out of my solar. So that's the bracket it comes with. So what I need to do is put that bracket in the middle of that, mark it, drill it, and then get it all set up and see how it works. So let's get it drilled. Right, so like I said, before I got the school bus, I already knew what roof rack I wanted. So I got all the dimensions off a website and started building my roof rack. So let me show you that. So that's going to be my roof rack. So what I need to do now is where those are there, I need to cut some square tubing so that my solar can mount into them, and then we can work on the whole tilt aspect of everything. So that measures at 2,300 millimeters. So let's get a piece cut, notched, and then we can carry on. Right, so I've got a piece of steel cut, 2,300 millimeters, 25 millimeter by 25 millimeter. And then what I've done is I've notched the end so that when it goes into the roof rack, the pipe will sit in the notch nicely. So now I need to weld my bracket onto this pipe so we can start trying to work out how it will actuate and move up and down. So let's get that welded in. Right, after forgetting to hit record again, I've gone a little bit further on, but let me show you what I've done and let me show you what I'm thinking. So let me show you. So I've got that welded up. That's going to be the middle of the solar lifting panel. Then what I've done, still a bit undecided, but that bracket is the bracket that holds the linear actuator. So that linear actuator will then set in there. So that'll go in between, if it stays, in between those two bars, and then lift our solar, if we get it right. So what I'm doing at the moment is I need to drill out so that I can create a slide so that when my solar comes down, it'll slide back in to a self-locking mechanism so that I won't have to climb up on top of the bus and lock it in myself. It'll all be locked down secure on its own. Right, let's get on with drilling some holes. Right, so in theory, what's supposed to happen is I'm going to have that piece of steel that I'm going to drill a hole in. It'll go through there. Then this should slide, allow the panel or this piece of steel to slide forward and then move up. So let's get that drilled. So that piece is 25 by 25 mils, so half of that is 12. So 12 and a half, so we mark it out 12 from there, 12 from there will be directly in the middle. So give it a punch. And then drill an 8mm hole in there, because the hole inside of there is 8mm, so we need an 8mm bolt to go through. Right, so in theory that won't fit, that'll fit because that's 8mm. That's 8mm. Right, then you get lost. So that's the bottom. So that hole there that you can see will be for that 8mm to go through. That there is 10mm, so I'm going to put a 10mm hole in there just because it'll be stronger and sturdier. So again, .5, 12.5 from the end. Center punch that, put a 10mm hole in it, and then that should go in. Ten more hole, 10 more hole. Now all I need to do is put a slot in it so that once that's in there, it can pivot. So let's get it done. Right, so that swivel will now fit in there and not swivel. So we've got to make the hole a bit bigger. So let's get it a bit bigger. Back onto the grinder.
5 hours later.
So after the grinder obviously won, I need to take some time now just to get it to heal so I don't make it dirty and get it infected. But as soon as I can get back on the roof rack, I'll get back on it. So if you like what I'm doing, click the like button, subscribe, and stick around to see what happens next. Thanks again, YouTube.